Tonight, Senate Republicans scrambling to push through the massive tax cuts and spending bill at the heart of President Trump's agenda.
Let's vote. This is good for America. This is good for the American people. It's good for working families.
The bill includes roughly $4 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthy, along with new funding for immigration enforcement, and fulfills some campaign pledges like no taxes on tips and overtime. It also guts Biden-era clean energy initiatives and slashes Medicaid, something Trump promised he would not do. A new estimate from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office predicts some 11.8 million Americans would lose their health coverage over the next decade.
It's the biggest Medicaid cut in history and represents the largest transfer of wealth in history. It is caviar over kids, hedge funds over health care.
Trump insists the Medicaid cuts only target waste, fraud, and abuse. But a member of his own party, Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, says the president doesn't understand his own bill.
So what do I tell 663,000 people in 2 years or 3 years when President Trump breaks his promise by pushing them off of Medicaid because the funding's not there anymore, guys? In the White House, senators advising the president are not telling him that the effect of this bill is to break a promise.
Trump furious with Tillis, threatening to primary him, but Tillis refusing to cave, instead announcing he won't run for re-election, saying leaders who are willing to embrace bipartisanship, compromise, and demonstrate independent thinking are becoming an endangered species. Other Republicans alarmed by the bill's price tag, which by one estimate would add at least $3.3 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years. Tonight at the 11th hour, Elon Musk swooping in again, declaring every Congress member who votes yes should hang their head in shame, threatening they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Now, Senate Republicans want to vote on this bill tonight. Reminder of the math, they can only afford to lose 3 Republicans in the Senate and still pass this. And right now, more than that remain undecided. And even if this bill ultimately passes in the Senate, it then goes back over to the House, where Speaker Johnson has that razor-thin majority and where already we are hearing from some Republicans who are opposed to the changes made over in the Senate. Mary Bruce, ABC News, the White House.